And when you're cutting a pattern like this out, you want to keep your scissors flush to the skin. You don't want to just haphazardly cut across. You're going to tear into a lot of this, and if some of this is folded way over, it could get too short where you need it to be long. So when you cut this, you're going to want your scissors flush with the skin underneath and do little clips. Basically, I'm just trimming it back to where these stitch holes are. The leather, once it's on there, will go past it, but I don't want to trim to where the leather is going to be. Just to the stitch holes is enough. Get rid of some of this bulk, that way when that piece comes in here, you'll have a nice edge ride just right on there, perfect. I'm going to go back and do these holes on here now. I make sure that's kind of out of the way as best as I can, and then I make sure to slide it up to the edge of a board. You could use a piece of leather or the edge of a cutting table or something. Get that wool out of the way. If you feel any get under there, stop, push it out of the way. And I might even raise this up a little bit so that I can just slide it right up and it's at the right height, because right now I gotta press it down. First thing we're going to do is sew the insert into that. And if you look, you can see which two holes are on the very high point of that arc. So I'll just line those up and start with one of those. Now, the tricky part of this is not to get a bunch of that wool stuck in there while you're sewing. I'm pushing this stuff out of the way, holding it down, and I'm pulling lightly, and if I feel resistance I stop right away because the fuzz can get knotted up and wrapped around the thread, but as long as you keep it out of the way it should be pretty good. Make sure nothing's in the way. Tighten the stitch. Okay, I just tie it off, finish it off by tying a knot in the back here. And next we're going to sew it down to this part. And again, I usually use contact cement, but this stuff works pretty good. Making sure to keep it a ways away from those slits. I'll put this together pretty quick. That way I can slide it around, and I'll put a couple clips on here while that dries. And I'm looking through to make sure those holes are matching up. If you have trouble seeing, put a needle through there and get a hole lined up. When in doubt, add extra clips. Put a little weight on there. I'll press that in there. I'll give that some time to dry, and then I'll just sew around. You keep that out of the way, the fluff, as best you can. But I'm just going like this loosely. It's going to grab a bunch, but before I tighten it, just get that out of the way, give it a tug. Now this will probably leave a little bit of fluff on your shoulder, and it'll shed a little bit for a few days. Okay, sew this onto the back.